Modern women spent their prime years bragging about how they didn't need men for anything, but now that they are older and a lot of them are hopelessly single, they are whistling a different tune. We've got a fun one for you here today from Men Only, titled Older Women Are Admitting What Use They Are for Men. Let's jump into it.
One core point that I always wish men understood about feminism is that they can't even afford to live without it. Most men cannot afford a single income household. A single income household is what anti-feminism is. Feminism fought for the rights of women to work equally to men. I think men are sold this idea of like angry, unhappy feminists, but it's like the reverse is so much worse because it's angry, unhappy you. It's really hard and really stressful to be the sole earner in a household. If you lose your job, your entire family's screwed. No food.
Feminism has made it so that no matter what, the family is doomed. The wife is enslaved and it's the man's fault. It doesn't matter if he's the sole income earner, 50-50, or if the wife is the breadwinner. It's always the man's fault thanks to womanist mental gymnastics.
And this isn't me advocating for 50-50 on dates, but it's me saying that if you're going to be in a long-term relationship with a man, realistically, you're probably going to end up paying for some things eventually. That's how the economy is currently structured. There's no escaping it. A very, very minute, like 1 in 100 men can afford to fund your entire lifestyle forever. And chances are that lifestyle won't even be great. It won't be Pilates and matcha and like taking your kids to daycare and then doing whatever the fuck you want for the rest of the day. It'll actually probably be you doing all of the labor, and then you get a nice little sweet treat every once in a while when your family vacation happens.
These women are delusional. She thinks that a woman's life should be a permanent vacation. Pilates and all this crap, hiring someone else to take care of her children. She's not looking for equality. She just wants to be paid to be lazy in every aspect of her life.
It is a Saturday night and I just had a monumental crash out via email to my therapist. I feel tormented by the desire for intimacy and connection with men and the extreme fear of being traumatized by them again and again and again.
It's offensive how these women have taken the word traumatized for themselves. They pretty much use it for every single time a man hurts their feelings, which happens all of the time because these women keep going after the worst possible men every single damn time.
And I don't know how to live with both. I don't know how to find the gray area. I wish more men understood how absolutely exhausting it is wanting to be open to connection with them and at the same time scared for your literal life.
There's nothing to understand because it's far too late for her. Even if she did find a man who was sensitive to her trust issues, she would still find an excuse to resent him. There's nothing that man will be able to do to help her because she refuses to do anything about it.
And I'm not over-exaggerating because even if the present circumstance you're in with a man is not life-threatening, it can feel like it. And
He is totally exaggerating. If she truly was traumatized to the point where the mere sight of a man makes her fear for her life, then she wouldn't be craving a man in her life. She wouldn't be so casual about any of this. It would be all too triggering for her.
I've been in therapy for so long, you guys. And I honestly just wish that I could snap my fingers and rid myself of the desire to be intimate with men. It is very hard to be someone who's not necessarily monogamous or looking for that, and also date men.
Therapy is only useful if the patient is willing to do the work to overcome their issues. Most women aren't, so most of it is just completely useless. Let's be real.
I was just thinking about my love life, and I realized that a man has never told me they loved me. Ever. Any guy I've ever dated, they never told me they loved me. And it makes me kind of sad when I think about it, because I thought by now I would be married. Like, I thought by this age I would be married, maybe have a baby, and a man hasn't even told me they loved me. Like, I haven't even been told I love you.
If this woman wanted a man to love her, she could have had that. She chose to chase after guys like Chad, and the odds of a man like Chad telling her that he legitimately loves her are so slim that they are practically impossible. That's on her for chasing a fantasy.
And in fairness, I've never said it either. And I guess it's because I'm kind of traditional, so I was always waiting for them to say it, and then if I did love them, I would say it back, but they just never said it. And I even remember my very first boyfriend I ever had, I mentioned it to him after we had been dating for quite a while, and I just thought maybe he forgot or, you know.
How can a man kind of forget, quote unquote, to tell a woman that he loves her? That makes zero sense. A man doesn't forget to say things like that. There's a reason if he doesn't, and kind of forgetting isn't actually one of them. The delusion is strong with this one.
But no, he very clearly told me, like, no, I just don't want to say it. I just don't feel that way. I'm like, oh, okay. And I still stayed with him for like months after that, you know? I've just been thinking, like, I've really, like, never had good experiences with relationships, maybe one.
That explains quite a bit. Her first experience with a guy was clearly a situationship. That's why she stuck around with this guy for so long, because she was hoping that he'd somehow change his mind and magically fall in love with her. But she can't bring herself to admit that shameful truth.
And other than that, they've all just been bad. Like, I've never been treated well, and when I see these girls that their boyfriends just do, or their husbands, fiancés, whatever, they do like the sweetest things for them and they're just so in love, and I'm just like, I've never had that before, and I've always wanted it. I've always wanted it, and I've always tried to have it, but I've just never had it. And I think a lot of people don't talk about how hard it is to be in your late 20s and you're still just single.
One of the things that almost every single woman in her late 20s complains about is not having a boyfriend, not being in love, and not having those Instagram moments where a man showers his wife with shiny things to show how much he loves her. We hear it all of the time.
And not even close to being with your person or getting married or anything like that. And while everyone else is engaged or married, and you know the feeling, I think the best feeling I can compare it to is when a group of people are walking on a sidewalk, like you're with a friend group, and you're the one person that doesn't fit across the sidewalk, so you walk in the back and everybody else is just like a few steps ahead of you, laughing and having fun, and then you're just behind them watching them have fun, but you're alone. That's how it feels.
Women like this act like the people in her life that moved on were lucky. They weren't lucky. They chose a bit more wisely when it came to the men in their lives. If she's the straggler in this friend group, it's because she's the one who insisted on staying there.
So, real talk. I saw someone post about this the other day, and it's really been making me think. And I don't mind being single. I have friends and family and my daughter and my dog and work and things to keep me busy. I think the biggest thing is that I am not anybody's priority. Like, nobody. And that, like, when this woman said that on TikTok, I was like, wow.
It's statements like that which prove how self-absorbed these women actually are. She doesn't want a man in her life for companionship or anything like that. She just wants a man to put aside everything that's dear to him to pay endless amounts of attention to her and her alone.
Like, nobody considers me or their priority. You know, my priority is obviously my daughter. But being single, when you're single, there isn't anybody, you know, considering you their priority. And that's a hard pill to swallow. So anyway, I thought that was interesting, and I've been thinking about it a lot. It's kind of sad, actually.
There are countless men out there who will prioritize her above all other things. They are called simps. She can get one quite easily, but she will never actually do it because those are the types of men she can't bring herself to respect.
Okay, let's talk about dating in our 40s, 50s, and who should be paying for dates. What do you guys think I'm going to say? Men. Men should be paying for dates. I always let men pay for dates, at least 1 through 3. After date 3, I'll usually offer to pay for something. Like if we go bowling and dinner, I'll say, I'll pick up bowling or I'll pick up dinner. Or sometimes, like the last person I went out with, seriously, I was like, we made a bet about bowling, and whoever won bowling wouldn't have to pay for dinner.
Women were not supposed to be dating in their 40s and 50s, and they are in no position to be dictating who's paying for the date. And to try and frame it as if offering to pay for dates later on is just a condescending way of doing things, right? It just proves how entitled she is in her old age.
So I paid for bowling, and then I ended up paying for dinner because I lost. So yes, but men should be paying for dates. I don't even offer date 1 through 3. And I've never had a man ask me to pay. I've never had a man not want to pay. It's just the right thing to do, men. And if you're not dating classy women, this is why. And if you're only having one date, this is why. You need to be paying for dates. Men need to be paying for dates. And you can give me your opinion and say that women are there for free meals. I've never gone out with someone for a free meal, ever, ever. If you think that, don't go out with them again. But pay. Offer to pay and pay. It's the right thing to do.
This woman is middle-aged, single, and thinking that her dating failures make her qualified to give out dating advice, but all she does is just repeat that she's extremely broke over and over again. That's not our fault that she's terrible with her own money. But anyway, guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Drop a comment, and I will see you all in the next one. Make sure you take care of yourselves. Peace.